Chelsea boss Frank Lampard has responded to Didier Drogba after he criticized the club after their disappointing defeat to Real Madrid in the Champions League. Frank Lampard has distanced himself from Didier Drogba's comments after the Chelsea legend suggested he no longer recognizes the club. The Blues have endured a terrible campaign and no longer have any chance of ending the season with any silverware after their 4-0 aggregate defeat to Real Madrid in the Champions League. There were high hopes for Chelsea this season, especially after the club spent big over the summer in Todd Boehly's first months as chairman. However, the campaign has gone from bad to worse since Thomas Tuchel was sacked in September, with Graham Potter appearing somewhat out of his depth before he too was relieved of his duties at the start of April. Lampard came in to replace him on a caretaker basis, but it has been a disaster so far. The Englishman has lost each of his 4 games in charge, leading the Blues on their worst run of form since November 1993. Lampard's former teammate Drogba has had his say, suggesting he no longer recognizes the club after comparing Boehly's reign to that of Roman Abramovich. The Chelsea boss has tried to distance himself from the Ivorian's comments as he offered a blunt response during his post-match press conference. There Didier's comments, "Sorry," he told reporters as he refused to become connected with what the 45-year-old had said. Drogba had offered some support for Lampard after arguing that Boehly had created a squad that was too bloated and hence too hard to manage. He also suggested the situation would never have happened under the American's predecessor Abramovich, who he believes made a number of intelligent footballing decisions. "I don't recognize my club," Drogba told Canal+. "It's no longer the same club. There is a new owner and a new vision. Of course, we try to compare it with what happened during the Roman Abramovich era, where a lot of players were brought in, but the decisions were very intelligent. Bringing in players like Petr Cech, Andriy Shevchenko, Herman Crespo, Michael Essien, Didier Drogba, Florent Malota, and I go on. It was done to win titles. They are players with a certain experience. The strategy is now different. We bet on young players. But a dressing room of over 30 players is difficult to manage for a manager." Lampard is set to remain Chelsea's boss for the last 7 games of the season, but will have the task of motivating a big squad with very little to play for. The Blues are back in action next week when Brentford are the visitors at Stamford Bridge.